Hey guys, what is up? This is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and welcome back to another movie review. In tonight's movie review, I'm going to be reviewing the 2023 movie, Anatomy of a Fall. Anatomy of a Fall was released in 2023 by Neon in the United States, and of course, it was recently been nominated for Best Picture at this year's Academy Awards. And so, since Oscar season's coming up, and since we got, Oscar season really is here because the Oscars won't be until March 10th. So, but since the Best Picture nominations has recently been announced, and Anatomy of a Fall was one of them, I actually recently rented this movie on demand for a cheap price, and so in this movie, Anatomy of a Fall is about a woman who works as a writer, and then she is then suspected of her husband's murder, and then her husband ends up getting murdered by falling off the roof, and by falling off the roof and then onto the shed and then to the ground, and so her husband ends up getting murdered, and so she is then framed with that, and of course their blind son faces a moral dilemma as the sole witness, and of course throughout most of the movie there's like a courtroom scene, and this writer is really trying her best to prove her innocence, that she didn't have anything to do with her husband's murder, and so yeah. And this movie was actually based in France, because this movie is actually a French movie, and most of the characters do speak French, and that's why there was English subtitles so you can understand what they're saying. Since this movie was based in France, most of the characters do speak French, but sometimes there are some scenes in the film where they actually do speak English, because sometimes the characters speak English while at the same time they speak French. So this movie's kind of almost like an English French movie released by Neon in the United States. So, because I've completely never even heard of this movie until it was nominated for Best Picture at this year's Academy Awards. So, I found this movie on demand for a cheap price to rent. So, I rented it on demand, like I said, and I'm gonna have to say I actually really enjoyed this movie. Because I really like how the story was played out, and it's like how the story's like played out as almost almost like a pretty much almost like a drama film, even though it's probably far from being a drama film. I think it's probably more like a thriller crime film, because there are some parts in this movie where it does blend in with the thriller genre. And of course, since this is kind of like a crime movie, it's pretty much about a woman who's trying to prove her innocence, that she didn't have anything to do with her husband's murder, and of course she's trying to convince the courtroom that she was framed, and so yeah, because we've seen some movies like that before in the past. But here, the way the screenplay is written, the screenplay was actually written very well, and of course I think there are some times where I think this movie kind of felt original. Since this movie did feel original, for that's definitely Oscar worthy, and yeah, and the performances, the acting performances were actually really good. I don't know many of the actors who are in this film, because most of them are pretty much like French actors, but for the most part, all the actors in the movie all do a good job. Like the acting performances were really good, and as for any issues or flaws I have with the film, I can't really think of a single flaw, or I can't really think of a single flaw or issue I have with the film, because this is honestly a perfect movie for me, because I actually enjoyed this movie. And the pacing itself is actually well paced too, because the movie's only like 2 hours and 30 minutes, like 2.5 hours. And I gotta say, the pacing itself was actually well done, because it's like because it didn't really feel that lengthy, and yeah, and of course even the ending too was actually, this movie actually had a very peaceful ending, which I'm not gonna spoil it, because in case most of you guys want to check this movie out for Oscar season, you guys have to see this movie for yourself if you're interested in checking it out. But it's like you guys have to see this movie for yourself so you guys know what I'm talking about. And yeah. So overall, Anatomy of a Fall was a really amazing, fantastic movie that's recently been nominated for Best Picture. And I'm gonna give Anatomy of a Fall 5 out of 5 stars. I recommend it. And there you have it, guys. That's going to be it for my movie review on Anatomy of a Fall. And that's going to be it for this video. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching. And until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.